Happy Monday, Flosstube. It is Monday, October 28th. Almost the end of October. Almost Halloween. We are closing in on November already. I had such a great weekend. I talked about it a little bit on yesterday's Sunday high tea video. And just a little, if you like Lizzie Kate, there's a pretty great giveaway on the Sunday high tea video. So just a little heads up. And I will, now which corner is it going to be in? Because I'm new to adding tags into these videos. So I think if I'm pointing in the right direction, it's going to be up in that corner. There will be a link to the Sunday off the grid, Sunday high tea off the grid video right there. I should know the names of my own videos. Okay, I have so much to share and talk about with you today. I've been kind of excited about doing this Flosstube this morning because it's full of stitchy goodness. Full of stitchy goodness. I was at a retreat this past weekend, a very, very small retreat. It's the retreat at the Elmhurst Inn in Ingersoll, Ontario, where I go, used to be twice a year, and now it has turned into 3 times a year. So we meet in February, June, and October. And it's a very small group. We have usually around 20 people. The June retreat last time I think we only had 12. So usually there's usually a few spots. Sometimes it's completely booked up, but sometimes there's still a few spots. So if you're interested in coming, send me a message and I will get you in contact with Miss Patty. Now, I believe that this time around, there was actually another cross-stitch group that met at the Elmhurst last week from Tuesday into Thursday, and it was a group, I believe, from Windsor, and I think there was a lady named Kim who was going to that group, and she thought that when I was talking about going to the Elmhurst that I was going to that cross-stitch meeting, because what are the odds that there's 2 cross-stitch groups going, from, the next day. So Kim, I'm sorry that I wasn't there to meet you. When I arrived on Friday, I was asking around. I said, is there someone named Kim here? Because I think I'd like to meet her, and you weren't there. So maybe next time we'll get to meet up. But speaking of people that I did meet, I met finally in person Sylvia Perez Hardy, who is on the Facebook group. And Sylvia she's been a member of the Facebook group for quite a while, and we've been chatting online for quite a while. So to finally meet someone who you kind of think is, as pretty nice, and you are excited to meet them in person, Sylvia did not disappoint. So in fact, my drink today is courtesy of Sylvia, because she remembered that I said a long time ago that some of my favorite drinks come from the States, and they don't sell them here in Canada. And I think maybe they used to have this in Canada, or they sold it for a little while, but now you can't find it. I can never find this in Canada. So Sylvia brought me up a case of raspberry tea Diet Snapple. And this is one of my favorites. So she knew the way to my heart, and there was a case of this waiting at my chair when I arrived. And so Sylvia, thank you so much, Sylvia. That was a really, really nice treat, and I appreciated it really so much. There were so many other people there. The other person who I have met before, who was there from the Facebook group, who you might recognize, was Missy Gallowan, and that's the name that she goes by on Facebook. So if you're on the Facebook group, you may recognize her. She was there as well. Always nice to spend time with Judy. And then, funny story, there was a lady there who I've known for the last, 5 or so years, and she comes to the October retreat. So I only get to see her once a year, and her name is Lori. And this was really funny because Lori went to, she was telling this story. She said, I was at a hotel last year. When I walked in, I saw this big sign that said something about stitching something, and I'm like, StitchCon? And she said, yeah, it was StitchCon, and there were hundreds of stitchers there, and it was the most amazing thing, and they let me go to their pop-up shops, and I got to meet everybody, and it was so cool. And she said, you're never going to believe what happened. She said, these people, when they found out I was from Canada, they said, oh, you're from Canada? Do you know Caroline? And Lori said, yeah, like there's a million Carolines, and what are the chances that I know Caroline? And then she thought about it for a minute, and then she thought about the fact that they had said Flosstube, and she knew that I recorded Flosstube videos, and she said, oh, wait a minute, I actually do know Caroline. I know Caroline personally. And it was really funny. It was just really funny, because there's always that kind of, that when people find out you're from a certain place and they know somebody from a certain place, even though Canada is a huge country, I will get asked, oh, I have a cousin in Vancouver. Do you know so-and-so? And Vancouver is so far away. There's no way I'd ever know anyone, you know. I know lots of people from Vancouver, but the chances of me knowing the person that you know from Vancouver are pretty slim. But it's just kind of this funny thing that everybody thinks we all know each other, which is kind of a nice thing, because, you know, in many ways, the world is a really small place. But the funny factor of this being that she did actually know me, and she's quite a nice lady. We're pretty good friends. So Lori, thank you for telling me that funny story. I got a big kick out of that. So my eye is watering a little bit today. Pardon me if I'm not crying, I promise. I had a great time. I'm not crying. I'm sad to be home, because boy, it was a great weekend. But my eye is just watering a little bit. Anyway, because it's Monday, let's do a little giveaway. These giveaways happen over on the Facebook group, Friday Off the Grid. And last week's chart that I had for giveaway was the May Flowers small kit. I just realized I hadn't pulled the winner yet for last Monday's video, so I quickly stopped and went into the Facebook group and did that. I thought I had done it. I don't know what I was thinking. Anyways, the pattern and little mini kit, it's actually a full little kit. It's very, very sweet. Brand new in the package. It's a Samsara Design Studios design called May Flowers. It's adorable, and it comes with a little bumblebee charm. I had 92 comments on this chart for last week. The random number generator chose comment number 45, and the winner is Lucy Law. So congratulations, Lucy. Send me your address, please, and I will get this out in the mail to you. Disclaimer about Because Monday draws, I tend to collect them for about 5-6 weeks, and then I take them and I spend about an hour and I address them all at the same time and then take them over to the post office. I don't go to the post office on a daily basis anymore, because I use a different carrier for Evertote now. So not that I was ever all that quick on the ball with getting these out before, but it just saves me one extra trip. So about 5 or 6 weeks behind. If you've won a Because Monday draw, they are coming, I promise. So this week I have a very sweet small JBW Designs pattern for the giveaway, and this is called the Apple Orchard. So this is the chart that's up for grabs today. And the saying on there, every apple speaks bliss to me falling from the autumn trees. So while it's still October, while it's still autumn, I thought this was a sweet chart to give away for today, because it's Monday. Yay, it's Monday. Monday. And so those are the giveaways. So again, Lizzie Kate giveaway on the video from yesterday. It's a good one. I have some show and tell. I have some unexpected show and tell today. I was not expecting to have this show and tell because, well, I got a few things back from my framer to share with you. And many of you will not remember these pieces at all, because I actually stitched these yonks ago, and they've been in my closet for a really long time. You know, as you do, you finish the stitching, and then what I would do is I would finish stitching a piece, and then I would I stack them, and then I roll them all up together, and then I put them in protective covering, and then I put them in my closet. And then when I finish the next piece, I take that roll out, unroll it, lie the new one on, roll it up, repeat. So 10 months ago, a year ago, I don't even remember. I think it was a year ago. It was, because one of the pieces was the Little House Needleworks 12 Days of Christmas. You're going to notice a theme here with Little House Needleworks. And so I showed off all of the finished stitched whips that were in that stack of stitching. And, you know, I determined that I would have a few of them framed. And so I have finally had a few of them framed. There is so much glare in here today from the sun that you can't see what I'm trying to show you properly. All you're getting is a reflection of my stacks of fabric that are on the other side of the room. So what I'm going to do is take a very quick little close-up video of these finished pieces and then insert them right here. So here we have finished number 1. Ye Old Coffee House. And oh my goodness, I forgot how much I liked this one. This is a Little House Needleworks kit. No, it wasn't a kit, pattern. And I think I gave away, I think I passed the stash a long time ago. Oh, you can see there's salt on my table from dinner last night. Pardon me. Yeah, I'm thrilled with this. I love the framing. I love everything about it. This is going to go in my kitchen. I know I said I was going to put it in the other room. This is going in my kitchen. Love it. So that was finished number 1, framing FFO number 1. FFO number 2. Oh my goodness, look at that. Is that not, oh, I can't even. It's so much prettier than I even remembered it being. So again, Little House Needleworks. As you can see, the Old Coffee House was done on a 28 count. This one was done on a 36 count. So you can see how much smaller the stitches are. And it's tiny. Well, it's not tiny. It's not 40 count. It's still 2 strands. I like good coverage on 36. I usually stitch 2 strands. Not always, but usually. And I just love it so much. Look at the cute little fox. Look at how sweet he is. Oh my goodness. Now you can tell the difference in the glass. This one has museum glass in it. No glare. This one has regular glass. And look at that glare. So this one, I'm waving. No glare. Museum glass is a little bit more expensive, but I think it's worth it for those special pieces. I am so incredibly thrilled with this framing job that I can't wait to hang it up on my wall. So yeah, there you go. There's my little show and tell. All right, back to regular Flosstube now. It's going to be another episode today where is my hair going to be completely dry by the time I'm finished filming this video? I don't know. Let's wait and see. So I'm thrilled to have those back, and I think they're going to look fantastic. I have a wall where I've got my Blackbird Designs Christmas garden hanging year-round. It's too beautiful to put away. And so I think I'm going to take that down, and I'm going to bring a few other framed pieces together, and I'm going to lay them out in a design, and then I'm going to rehang everything on that wall so that it's a grouping of stitching. That's the plan. So that's my show and tell. Now I have some show and tell that's not mine, but it was so spectacular that I asked if I could share it with you. So I've mentioned many times that I'm very good friends with the owners of my previous local needlework shop, Thread and I, and they retired and closed down the shop. And then we were very fortunate that a new shop came into town, a new to London. They had been operating in Ingersoll for a while, but when Thread and I closed down, Stitch It Central moved their shop to London, Ontario. So I'm really lucky. I only had like a month or two in between the time of not having a local needlework shop. We're very fortunate here. I'm quite good friends with Kathy and Neil. And Neil is also a stitcher, and he was my framer when they were open. And so Kathy, I see her on a regular basis. And she brought over Neil's latest finish to show me. And she said that I could hang on to it for a week and share it with you. So this is a Glendon Place Designs. You know, many of you know that I love their dessert series. I'm a big fan of geometric designs. I'm working on tiramisu myself. So this is the Fudgy Mint Mousse, okay? So Glendon Place Fudgy Mint Mousse. And I hope the color is picking up correctly there, that it is sort of in the greens and browns family, okay? So these designs call for scads of beads, and they are usually stitched on I think it's 28. Yeah, it's 28 count cashel linen. And in fact, the colorway for this one is called Fog, which is, it's beautiful. But yeah, 28 count using 2 strands of thread over 2 on 28 count. So when they're done, and my tiramisu is done on 28 count, 2 over 2. It's going to be quite a big girl. But what's interesting about what Neil has done is he's completely changed it in just a couple of ways, but it has completely changed the feel of the piece. And so I thought it would be interesting to share with you that you are only limited by your imagination. If you see a design and there's something about it that doesn't fit quite right with you and your aesthetic, but you love most of the chart, it's so easy to change it and make it yours. Okay, so Neil decided to do this on, I'm going to say this is, I gotta look over my glasses here, okay? So hang on a sec. I'm gonna say this is a 25 count, and I'm sure Kathy told me, and I forgot. It's either a 25 or 28. I get them confused because they're similar. I'm pretty sure this is a 25 count, and he did it 1 over 1. Do you remember my Ink Circles Forest Flower 1 over 1? Yeah, well, wait till you see this. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? And you may also notice that there's no green. There's no green in there. He changed the threads to blues and browns. No beads, just teeny tiny perfect stitching. He didn't want to put beads in, and when it's so small, you don't miss them. It's just a beautiful geometric design. Now, being that they were shop owners, they had a lot of thread in their stash, and he doesn't really remember exactly which threads he used. They just kind of pulled flosses from a few different sources, and so I'm sorry I can't provide a thread conversion, but the whole point of this is pick your own, choose some blues that speak to you, and put them together and see if they work. And oh my goodness, look at it. I'm gonna bring it up close. Look at how perfect it is. It's tiny and beautiful. Amazing. There. Just phenomenal. He had marked the top of his fabric with a little bit of thread to remind him where the top was, which is super smart. Super smart tip. So thank you, Neil and Kathy. Thank you for letting me share that with everybody, because it's an inspiration, really, on how we can change things up and just make them whatever you want. Make them whatever you want. Beautiful. Oh, it's a pretty good show and tell today, if I do say so myself. Not so bad. Okay, I'm just gonna put in a really quick ad from YouTube right here. I hope it's quick. If you're getting a 5-minute ad, just skip it. No one would ever expect anyone to watch a huge long ad. If you're getting long ads, just skip them. But if you do let them play through, the YouTube content creator, which is in this case me, they get a few extra pennies for that view than if the ad is skipped. The revenue from these ads completely covers the cost of all of the giveaways that I send out. So I am incredibly grateful for you just letting those ads play through, because it means that I can give, I can send giveaways out all over the world. That I wanted to make that clear, because I had someone comment last week on Monday's video that they wished they could enter, but they lived in the, where did she live? Really far away. And she said, oh, but I live here, and I'm sure I send anywhere. I will literally send a giveaway anywhere. If you like it, please enter, because the revenue from these ads covers all of the cost of my shipping. So thank you. Thank you. And I'll be right back. Okay, so what am I working on? I am working on, well, a couple of things. I talked about in my high tea video yesterday that for me, November is going to be about finishing things up. And so I am, high tea is supposed to be something that you're getting excited about and planning the month ahead that's coming, and just celebrating something special, choosing something that floats your boat for the month. And so I've decided that for the month of November, I'm going to focus on finishing a few things up so that I can end my year 2019 feeling like I have a couple more finishes under my belt. So I'm focusing on, for November, 3 different things. My ink circles damask square, and the counted canvas piece Starry Night, and I'm going to choose a couple of ornaments that I started last year during Flossmas and finish the stitching on them so that I have them ready to go for this year's Flossmas. There may be a few encouraging finishing videos coming up. Just FYI for Flossmas. Flossmas ahead. So the two, and in fact, one of the pieces that I worked on, mostly that I worked on this past weekend, has nothing to do with those 3 pieces, which was Sivan. I'm also going to include Sivan in my month of November because I just can't put it down. Just can't put it down. So, but that's okay. I'll show you that in a minute. First one I'll show you is my ink circles damask square. I don't have the chart here with me. It's upstairs, and I've already stopped and started this video many times. So I'm just going to show you where I'm at, and I will show you next Monday the proper picture. But my stitching doesn't look a whole heck of a lot like the picture because, well, the picture is in white like ecru on a darker fabric. Mine is a blue on a lighter fabric. So I said on Friday, this fabric, I've been calling it, saying that it was from Zweigart. It's not. Kathy corrected me. This is an Ubelor fabric, and I believe the spelling is U-B-E-L-O-R. Ubelor. Somebody in Europe, please correct me, because I know it's a European fabric. I believe you can still buy it in Europe, but it's very difficult to find in North America. Not many people over here know about it, and it is a beautiful fabric. I mean, it's really, really nice to work on. So hopefully, that maybe we can start finding it, or it is still available, I believe. I've talked about Ubelor before, like a year ago, but I don't know a lot about it because it's not really that common here. So this is a pre-finished dresser scarf, table, square, whatever, with prefab hem stitch, and the corners are finished. So once I've done the stitching and ironed it, it's done, and I can send it out the door as a Christmas present to a very special friend. So that's where I'm at. Did some work last night for high tea, finishing up this 3rd motif here. Then I'll come here, and then I'm going to check my I'm going to do the stitching that goes out to the edges on the 4, and then I'll do the corners after that. So it's coming along. I love it. I'm using a Dinky Dyes, and it's Pacific, is it Pacific Ocean? I will edit that in because I can't remember. I was calling it Midnight, and it's not Midnight, it's Pacific something. Pretty sure it's Pacific Ocean. So yeah, I'm pretty thrilled with this. It's coming along, and so I will finish it in November. I will indeed. If you missed on Friday, I have my threads on my brand new thread keep. Selling these in the shop, disclaimer, www.evertote.com. It says my Friday off the grid party pants are on. I had a fellow podcaster and friend and maker who owns a laser cutter, and she makes needle gauges and stitch markers and things like that. She lives in the UK. Her name is Faye. Her podcast is the Crochet Circle podcast. She lives in the UK. She lives in England, but she is Scottish. So if you enjoy a good Scottish accent, Faye is your girl. And I don't crochet, and I love listening to Faye because she's interesting, she's smart, she's funny, and it's always an enjoyable hour spent with Faye. I highly recommend her podcast. So she made these, and I gave her the phrase. I told her kind of what I wanted, and I ordered 100 of them. So they're starting to go out the door, and I hope that you think that they're as fun as I do. So I've got my remainder skein of my Dinky Dyes on here. I was going to put my second skein on, but I think I'm going to finish up my first skein first and see how much more of the next skein I'm going to need, because I'm hoping to send a brand new unopened skein of this special floss along with the gift. That's my plan. So that's my plan. Now I have these pre-cut to the lengths that I like to stitch with, so I can just pull the, I pull from the knot, and that way the rest of the skein stays on the thread keep. Okay, so that's work in progress number 1. Work in progress number 2 is my Sivan. Now, I'm not going to roll it up because I've shown this a million times. So I'm just going to show you it's where I'm at with my progress. So you all know that there's more of a border down here. You can see the bottom of the border there. So this is what I worked on at retreat, and this is all that I worked on. My hand is kind of bothering me a little bit again, and I didn't have my Lowry frame there. And holding a frame in my left hand is the quickest way to aggravate that not so nice feeling in my left hand. So I was pleased as punch just to be forced to only work on Sivan. So I managed to get a fair bit of progress. I know it doesn't look like much, but for me and how much I talk at retreats, I actually got quite a bit done. So the middle motif I have completely started, and these 2 little eyeballs on either side, those are now done, and now you'll never see them as anything except eyeballs. And I did some more black fill-in, I did some more blue fill-in on the sides there and there, black fill-in in here. And I started, working up my way on these motifs here. So all in all, oh yeah, and a lot of black fill-in. 310, good old 310 right there. And thank you, Joanne. I remembered my 310. I forgot my toothbrush, but I remembered my 310 because I checked 3 times for the 310. I did not check 3 times for my toothbrush. But don't worry, I brushed my teeth. They had spare toothbrushes. Not like used toothbrushes, but new in a package at the front desk. So I did brush my teeth. And then on the way home, I forgot my suitcase. So one of my friends had to drive my suitcase here after the retreat because I left that there. I remembered to bring all my stitching home and my 310, but I forgot my suitcase. Both my husband and Gerald would say, John would say you should make a list, and Gerald would say, yeah, that's typical of you. Maybe you should be a little more organized. And I would say, what fun is that? Oh, I love this piece so much. I love it. I can't even begin to, the colors just make me happy. And I've said that before, I'm repeating myself. Okay, that's it for me today. As far as the shop goes, I have been working very hard on the Christmas kit, the Evertote 2019 holiday collection. It's coming out next week. I'm going to be releasing the kit on Monday, next Monday, for pre-orders. So what a pre-order means is that they will be up for sale, and as they sell, I will be finishing off making the bags and then mailing them out as fast as I can. I fully expect that it will take me about 2 weeks. So from the Monday, the 4th, to the Friday, at the end of the second week, I hope to have them all in the post by the next Friday. I should have 50 sets available. The designer of this year's Christmas kit is Lindy Stitches. Stephanie has designed the sweetest pattern for this year's kit, and I'm so excited to share it with you because it's fabulous. And we will be doing a stitch along with Stephanie's pattern that comes in the kit. And because it's a PDF, you will be receiving Stephanie's pattern right after you buy the kit. So you don't have to wait to get the pattern until you get your package in the mail. I will be emailing you Stephanie's pattern within 24 hours of your purchase of the kit, and you can get started right away. So the stitch along will start on probably the end of that week, November, whatever that is. I'd have to look at the calendar, but you know what I mean. Monday's the 4th, so do the math. The Friday that week is when we will start the stitch along, and I will start the stitch along for the Friday off the grid that week. So if you'd like to join in with me, it's going to be super fun. So I will have the pattern exclusively for the first 2 weeks that it comes out. Once the kit and Stephanie's pattern have been up for 2 weeks, after that point, Stephanie will be offering her pattern as a standalone on her Etsy shop. So if you are not a fan of the Christmas bag this year, if you're not a fan of the holiday bag this year and you don't want to buy a kit, but you still want to stitch Stephanie's pattern, don't worry. Just wait a couple of weeks and then the pattern will be available on her shop and you can support her shop. She's a lovely, lovely girl. She's so much fun. And you can join us. Anyone can join in with the stitch along. You don't have to have purchased the kit in order to join in the stitch along. And a little sneak peek, a little spoiler alert, we will be using the stitch along piece. We will be using Stephanie's design as, you know, some fun. There will be some fun had in December with Flossmas. Maybe some different finishing ideas in December. So I hope you'll join in. I hope you will love the kit. I love the kit. I'm so excited to release it. So next Monday, I'm going to put out a regular Monday Flosstube, and then I'm going to do an extra little short video that's just about the kit, because there's going to be lots of people who really don't care, who really don't want to, you know, even be tempted by that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate it out so that if you're trying to watch your pennies this year and you don't want to be tempted, you don't even have to watch the video, okay? So I'll just separate it right out. But that'll be next Monday, coming soon. So I'll tell you more about it next week. And that's it. Other than that, I will be spending the rest of the week and the rest of the weekend sewing up some orders that are in the shop, sending out the thread keeps that have already been ordered, that I'm so excited to start seeing those pop up in people's, you know, if you post it on Instagram or on Facebook, or, you know, talk about it in your YouTube Flosstube video, please tag me, please tell me about it, because I've had so much fun doing this with Faye, that seeing something that I saw in my head actually come to life, not made by me, but made by someone else with a completely different method of making something. It's been really cool. So if you have purchased one, thank you so much. And I look forward to seeing them out in the world. Oh my goodness, the retreat was so fun. There, there's so much happens in a retreat. It's hard to explain everything that we did and talked about and ate, because oh my goodness, the food was amazing. But you should know that the three ladies who organized the Elmhurst retreat, Miss Patty, her daughter Carrie, and my friend Joanne, those three ladies do a phenomenal job of putting it together. And they don't charge a retreat fee. I think they should. Just, putting that out there, ladies. I think you should, because what they offer when you get to the retreat, there are door prizes. There is a huge raffle. There, they give out, we got packets that have freebie designs. They took time to stitch a lot of those freebie designs and finish them so that we could see what those patterns looked like. So many different ideas, and just they go to a lot of trouble, and I just want to say an extra special thank you to them for making it just so enjoyable for all of us who were there. It was a fabulous weekend. So possibly on Friday, I would like to share some of those freebie charts that we received in the package, in case there's anything in there that some of you out there might be interested in stitching. But with the Stitch With Me format, I'm able to, I can put them right underneath the camera so that you can see them up close and see if you're interested. I'll also show the information that should be right on the printout as to where you can find it. I think many of you know by now that I'm not very good at putting information in the drop-down box. So if I can put it on the screen and I'll say, okay, if you like this, here's where you can get it, and I'm just going to show it. Hopefully that will be enough information. So, and that's it. That's it for me. I will see you on Friday for Friday Off the Grid. And I hope that you have a fantastic week, and I hope that you're off to a good start and that your Monday was fabulous. And I'll see you on Friday. Happy stitching.